Six Flags Magic Mountain is home to over 100 rides, with 19 of them being roller coasters, but today we're going to count down the top 10 rides over at Magic Mountain. Coming in at number 10 we have got Crazality, and I am absolutely crazy about this ride. Getting a world record for the world's highest pendulum of 170 feet, this flat ride is anything but tame. So for any thrill seekers out there, the intensity of this ride will blow you away. Literally, as speeds of this ride reach up to 75 miles per hour, which when you are also spinning really fast gives you a crazy sensation. Another great thing about this ride is the throughput, as due to it being well huge and fitting 40 riders per cycle, queues are never too long for this beast of a ride. Who loves Batman as well as B&Ms? Well, that's pretty much everyone, and at our number 9 spot, Batman the ride is a mix between those two. This inverted coaster is fantastic, with for starters the Batman theming throughout, making it feel like you are in Gotham City. However, once you do get onto the ride itself, you will feel super, with there being many great elements including 4 loops, one of them being 88 foot tall, which is bigger than the majority of rides in the UK, and this is just, well, a loop. For my brother, this was in his top 3 list at the park. However, for me, with there being so many clones out there, this ride doesn't feel too special. It is time for one of my favourite mega coasters in the world, Goliath, and if you are brave enough to ride this attraction, you will be faced to start off with a Goliath lift hill. Did you see what I did there? Before dropping down 255 feet at a speed of 85 miles per hour. Now, if anyone's watched the James Corden video on here, you can definitely see that this section of the ride definitely does scare a few people. For me though, the scariest part is the mid-course brake run before the downwards helix, as I genuinely almost blacked out at this point. Apart from that, this ride is great, and with possibly the coolest entrance ever, I definitely recommend a ride on Goliath. At number 7 we have got the one and the only Lex Luthor Drop of Doom, and I can pretty much guarantee you that you have seen this drop tower somewhere. This is the world's second tallest drop tower, dropping you 400 feet back down to the planet Earth after taking in the beautiful view of California. Many would argue this is petrifying, and if you are lucky, when you are at the top, sometimes Superman may get up as well, making the tower shake. This is definitely one of the most scary experiences that I have ever done, so if you want to poo your pants multiple times, Drop of Doom is there for you. You need to stand up for the DC villains, and that is why we have the longest, highest as well as fastest stand-up coaster in the world. This is RIDDLER'S Revenge, and it is definitely a world-class roller coaster, and if you have never done a stand-up coaster before, this should be right near the top of your bucket list when you go to Magic Mountain, as there is only 21 stand-ups and this is definitely the best one. In terms of the ride itself though, it features 6 loops and reaches a speed of 65 miles per hour. But if this does not persuade you, RIDDLER'S Revenge is amazing, well, what will? This ride is legendary and would definitely put me on team Riddler. Top 5, whoop whoop, and for this spot we have got Superman Escape from Krypton. Now, if you are scared of heights, let's just skip to number 4, as this is the 3rd tallest roller coaster in the world, standing at a whopping 415 feet tall, which is pretty tall if you ask me. Oh yeah, did I forget to mention it also goes 100 miles per hour backwards. However, I know many people are going to hate me for this, but the one time that I rode this ride, I wasn't too impressed. Now don't get me wrong, it's high, which is pretty cool, and due to going backwards, I didn't feel like the speed was really in my face, which actually sucked a little. Nevertheless, due to having one forward car again, I decided to put it at number 5. For number 4, we have got Full Throttle, and it wouldn't be Six Flags Magic Mountain without having a record, and if you guessed it was the second tallest loop in the world, well then you were very wrong, because it's the third tallest loop in the world, but it is definitely 100% one of my favourite rides, and when I rode it back in 2019 there were so many surprises. Firstly, launching off into a 160 foot loop and staring down upside down, it is just mental. Then on the second launch, me and my dad thought the ride broken down when it shot us off backward before launching us forward again, which was actually quite funny. And finally, the top hat over the loop doesn't just look cool, it is wicked. Overall then, with all of these unique elements as well as good twists and hills in the middle, Full Throttle should definitely be launching you off in your next visit. Now we are entering into the top 3 territory, and between this and number 2 it was very tough, but at this spot we have got Tatsu, and despite it being tucked away, you would regret it if you did not ride this attraction. This roller coaster make is a flying coaster, which for you non-theme park enthusiasts basically mean you fly like Superman around the track, and if you have never done one of these before, the sensation feels very, very weird, so just be prepared if it is your first time. Okay, with the ride itself, it has got a height change of 263 feet due to it being on top of a mountain, so it is definitely for the group's daredevils, but I don't even think they could cope with the pretzel loop, which is by far what puts this ride at the number 3 spot for me. This loop, which is 124 feet tall, I'll let you know, tucks you underneath yourself and back over again, basically making a pretzel shape, but you would definitely not want a pretzel after doing this element. In addition to this, there are some other great elements on the ride, including a horseshoe, zero-G roll, and so much more. So just get yourself on Tatsu and take off with the dragon. Top 2, and for this spot we have got Twisted Colossus, the ride which I can make an hour-long video just talking about how good this RMC is. This RMC is like no other, with not only a great layout including a 121 feet drop before a high 5 element which you will get later on, a zero-G roll as well as a Top Gun stool. Now I'm just saying any ride with a Top Gun stool must be good, but seriously, the reason why some of these elements you may not have heard of is because this ride is the only dueling RMC, which means that there is 2 cars which race each other on the ride, hence the high 5 and Top Gun moment. But this ride gets even better, as instead of having to queue up twice for both tracks on the dueling aspect, on this ride once you go around the first part, you do the second part which duels with the first. How cool is that? Unfortunately though, this ride has got one problem, as it does not always duel, so if you are lucky enough to get a dueling ride, you have got an amazing cred. After 10 of the best rides in really the world, we are over here at the number 1 spot, and for this position we have got X2. Not only my favourite roller coaster in Magic Mountain, but in the world. This ride has got absolutely everything you want in a roller coaster. It is basically a B&M wing coaster with 360 degree spinning seats. The ride begins with you heading up backwards a 175 foot lift hill on top of a mountain, giving you the best view of LA, especially at night, before dropping 215 feet with you staring directly at the floor. From there you are literally all over the place doing continuous loops while heading around a specialised circuit to make your experience extremely intense. However, despite this sounding and probably looking very scary, Once you hit the break runs, you will definitely see what I mean. Unfortunately though, that is it from our top 10 video over at Six Flags Magic Mountain. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to like, subscribe and comment down below, as we post over 4 videos every single week, with 3 of them being top 10s. Also, if you are a huge fan of the channel, please follow our Patreon page, as it means the absolute world to us. But that is it from me, Tom Derrick from Theme Park Coasting, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.